Welcome to the Mind Grow Radio Storyteller Series podcast. I am your host, Stephanie Kathan, and today we are joined by independent filmmaker, executive producer, brand strategist, and the founder of Seal Media, Orange County's best creative agency since 2007. Please help me welcome Anderson Seal. Anderson, welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Hello, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
My first question for you is, as you look around this amazing life that you have created, and then you look back to when you first started out on this journey, did you have any idea that you would be making an impact and touching people the way that you are today?
Wow, that's a very, very great starting question because, this journey has been quite remarkable. You know, I've been able to travel the world, pursue something that, setting out a goal and getting to do something that you love to do on a daily basis has just been a remarkable story for me. And I love to share that with people so that I can inspire them. And that's what we continue to do on a daily basis, is inspire and to help people grow and bring their newfound glory to the world. And I can't express to you how blessed I feel to still continue to do this after, it's been about 16 years now.
You have been able to make a powerful impact through storytelling and filmmaking, from the work that you do with nonprofits to the help that you give business owners, to blend that creativity with their story and make a memorable experience in the minds of their clients and customers. Was there a moment when you ever doubted your ability to succeed on this road?
That happens all the time, Stephanie. I mean, in a way, you find yourself, growing and building, and then sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but that's part of the whole process. That's part of business as it is. But I'm going to tell anybody that's pursuing their dreams, growing their business, is that you always want to know that part of growing, part of success is embracing the failures, is embracing what you could potentially learn from the failures. And if we're not learning from the failures, then we're not growing. And so, yes, there's been times where, I felt like, I don't know where I'm going to be, in the next 3 months, and all those kind of, doubting factors come in. But, it's not easy, and you so have to have this endurance, this strength, and to just have this perseverance of keeping the train moving and constantly having this focus of knowing, I know there's something better for me out there. And when you maintain that perspective, I think it's, the world opens up for you.
So true. So true. When you found yourself in those times, I know for myself, sometimes it was really hard to get out of my own way when it came to the doubt and the fear of moving, into the unknown. Nothing is secure because you're kind of you're making your own path. And was there anything that you did or any tools or strategies that you used or mentors or advice that you got that helped you to kind of center yourself back into that confidence to move forward?
Yeah, I think that, besides like books and things that I could get into, but, the reality is you want to kind of have gratitude. I mean, the way to, open up to to the universe and to get out of your funk, if you will, is to really show the universe that you are thankful for all of these things that you have accomplished. And then it really helps you understand that you are not alone and that you're growing. And the gratitude also reminds you of all those wonderful things that you are able to do to help others. And I think that's always been a big thing for me is kind of stepping back and going, well, look what I have accomplished. And once I've done that, then it brings me to this point where I'm like, well, I'm just getting started. And that's how I always kind of I settle on, is that I'm just getting started. Even after I've been doing this for 16 years, I have 4 feature films under my belt, a couple short films, some award-winning films that have gone to film festivals and won film awards, meeting some really interesting people in the industry, traveling all over the place. All these things I've done. I still wonder. I still push myself and go, well, I've done those things, but I know that there's more out there for me, and that's what I always come back to, is that I want to truly attain my vision, and that's really just to be a storyteller and to be passionate about what I do, all the way up. I don't even think I'm going to retire. That retiring to me is just not my plan. I just want to just be creative and do the things that I set out to do, and just keep going.
I love that so much. A lot of people spend their whole life looking to retire. Like they just kind of dismiss all of the living that they're doing because they're so focused on the end. And what you've been able to do is you have made a life out of living. You've made a career out of it and bringing that human piece of storytelling into the mix. Did you always know that that was going to be a pivotal thing for you?
That's a good question. I have a really great story of how I was lucky enough to find storytelling at such an early age. I was in my community college, just trying to find my way. I was an international business major with a minor in Japanese. Started taking those classes, realized I just didn't have the passion to pursue that path. And then I got into a film class, and we were able to actually go out and film some little short films and little productions and things like that. And it all just kind of clicked, like, wow, I can actually do this for a living. So I was about 19 years old. I really got very hyper-focused in creating stories and to learn everything I can about the craft of filmmaking. I ended up with a film degree. I was, all honors, dean's roll, the whole thing, and I wasn't even really that great of a student in high school, but I was hyper vigilant at just absorbing everything I could about, the craft of filmmaking. And I would say, like, once that clicked, once I like kind of hit my stride, there was just no turning back. And it's amazing, that was, I'm 44 now, so that was a long time ago. I can't even put the numbers together, but I can't believe that I still have that fire and drive to do these stories and to pursue what I set out to do back then, and I still do. And I think that's when it all clicked, when I was, probably about 19, 20, and realizing that I could do it. I transferred to Long Beach State, where I got my film degree. During that time, that was another catalyst to knowing that I could actually, be a filmmaker. I was good at storytelling. There's a great little story there where my first class that I had to take at Long Beach State in order to pursue the film major was this really intensive class that was just all book work. There was no like picking up a camera. There was all this intense book work, and then at the end of the week we had to do a test and essays and things of that nature. But there was this one project at the very end where we were supposed to take all of the information that we consumed throughout the semester, and the final was to create 5 images, and those images had to tell a story. We're talking just still images, but you had to apply all the the knowledge and the leading lines and all these foundational elements of filmmaking within these 5 pictures. And then the professor was going to take the very best of the 10 best projects and kind of show them off to the class at the very end of that semester. And I was really excited about it, and I put all my love and effort into it, and I was the one that was picked at the very last one. I was like, oh my gosh, is my project going to be picked? And once it was picked, it was like out there and in this dark room. I had my own little audience, and they were all coming up to me, congratulating me, and that was another part of like, wow, like this whole storytelling thing and crafting and being a master at your craft or pursuing that. I wasn't a master at that time, and I don't think I am at the moment. I'm still pursuing that mastery. That's part of the process, and part of the pursuit, though, is to always know that things could be better. Always, keep a very humble disposition of yourself, and know that I can make things better. I could, change this development. Maybe I can jump out of my comfort zone and do something that has never been done before, or I've never done before, and I'd like to explore that new approach on storytelling. And that's what excites me, is to always be learning, always be exploring, stepping out of your comfort zone, and just and really fine-tuning your craft. And that's when I'm 80 years old, still out there, pushing and hitting that record button, hopefully teaching my daughter and cousins and nephews, what they want to pursue in life. That to me is exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I love that, and I love what you were saying about just you're practicing. Like you don't consider yourself like, I know everything about this, I am a master. And what I find about the greatest masters of their craft is that they're ever practicing, they're ever continuing to learn. And I remember listening to this interview with Kenny G one time, who has been like a musician for a gazillion years now, but still every day he practices 3 to 4 hours. And he's like, every day, even though I've played this thing 100 times, I always still hear something new. And for you, with the filmmaking, you always develop new intuition of how you could improve this or improve that. And I think that is a really big nugget for us all. that to master anything, especially the things that we love and that we want to make a life out of, it requires practice and continuous growth. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really the passion talking when somebody says that, because you know, when you're passionate about something and you're continuing to explore and to meddle and to tinker and all those things, that's the passion driving you to do it, even if you've done it 10,000 hours, like they say. To master something, you want to, you know, have done that for 10,000 hours. I don't know if you ever heard that.
I have heard that. Like, it takes 10,000 steps to master whatever you're doing, or 10,000, the magic number, 10,000.
Yeah, the 10,000 hours to master, you know, anything that you want to pursue, which I believe can happen. But I think also it's important to understand where the drive comes from. And to me, the drive comes from always just embracing your passion about storytelling or whatever you may be interested in. And just another thing is you want to like protect the time that you do have to pursue your passion. So if there's like any type of, I don't know, just distractions that happen, then you could, you know, kind of take out those distractions so that you can be as focused as you possibly can when you are, you know, tinkering and, you know, working and just perfecting whatever it is that you set out to do. You know, lots of people are out there, you know, they're really great at what they're doing, but they're still out there, you know, making it better. Think about, like, I love watching the Olympians, right? They're out there and they're really, really interested in making their dreams come true, and they work so hard, and sometimes, you know, they fall short and, you know, don't get on that podium or whatever, but they're out there the next day just going and saying, you know, I gotta do better, you know, and that's the drive, that's the passion that keeps them going. And I think that's really powerful and such a great trait to have. And not everybody gets that. I don't think everyone gets that ability to have the passion and drive for something. Maybe they do, and it comes later in life. Like I said, I got that drive and passion when I was 19, and, you know, I was working as an international business guy, and, you know, realized that just wasn't my calling. I didn't have the drive and the passion to go after that particular path in life. But once I found filmmaking and storytelling and stuff, it all just clicked, and I just there was no turning back. And I'm really thankful that somehow the universe brought me to that passion early in life.
Well, I'm really thankful that the universe brought you into my world because I love this conversation. Oh, this is so good. So as you travel along the journey of life, but as an entrepreneur, people are very giving with their advice and opinions. And what was the best piece of advice that you got so far on this journey?
That's a good question. Wow. I can't think of something at the moment.
Just tell a story about it.
Yeah, right? There's been a lot of good pieces of advices. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I think what I was just telling you when, you want to protect your time when you are pursuing your passion. I think that's been a remarkable time, and I always make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm always, giving myself that ability to focus and not have those distractions. I think that was really, really important. Gratitude, having this gratitude and knowing that, it's not always going to be perfect. And gosh, I'm trying to think of like somebody in particular that's told me some things.
Well, let me ask you this while you're conjuring thought. For somebody who might be just starting out on their journey, or somebody maybe who has been out there for a little while but still unsure of that passion, where their passion might lie, what is the best piece of advice that you could give someone to help them find their spark?
I would say the best piece of advice is make sure that you are really focused on where you're headed, and you may not know where you're headed at this very moment. You may be kind of, trying to figure yourself out, and I would say embrace that. It's important to know that whatever you're doing right now, if you're not super passionate about it, then that that's not your calling. So you have to really be passionate and really get excited about what you're pursuing. And if you're not, then that's telling you something. And then once you have figured out what you are pursuing and you're really excited about it, know that it's not going to be easy. Know that there's going to be ups and downs, and that, you might fail here and there. But always know that, failure comes great growth, and making sure that you are aware of that growth and aware of yourself, where you're headed. I think that's really important, because some people, they get excited about something and then they pursue it, something doesn't happen, and they get down on themselves, and the doubt creeps in, all of that stuff. But you want to embrace that, because if you're really passionate about it, you'll find a way to get over that doubt and say, you know what, I can do this better, I can do this better, and know that, it's going to take some time. I know from, growing my business for, a lot of years, there's been a ton of different pivots that I've had to do in order to sustain and keep my business going, and still feel the love for, telling the stories for other businesses and nonprofits and everyone. But if I didn't make those pivots, I don't know where I would be. So you got to stay very nimble and know that, there's going to be peaks and valleys. Embrace those peaks and valleys, and then one day you're going to realize, all those sacrifices, all those things will be worth it, because you kept the your perseverance level. You made sure that if you had to make a change, that you were willing to, and that takes courage. And you need to have all those elements in order to succeed. not just in business, but in life. They go hand in hand. And I think that, it's really important to embrace those times where we doubt ourselves, no matter what we're doing, because if we can just get over that and realize that everybody kind of goes through these ups and downs, you need to pull themselves up. There's this something about pushing through that I would say it's making somebody feel like they are empowered because they were able to get through those obstacles. And I think that alone, creates such a amazing, empowerment feeling. Like, wow, if I can get through this, I can get through so many other things, right?
Yes.
And I think when I graduated college, that was a big up for me. It was a lot of perseverance. I was, going through my film studies as well as, working full time. So I always remember, I'm the oldest of brother and sister, and I always tell them, like, it's about putting together a goal. No matter what you're doing, put together that goal and accomplish that goal. And if you're gonna find yourself, getting up against so many little obstacles and things along the way. But once you achieve that goal, and once, it's got to be a pretty lofty goal or a big goal. But once you have achieved that goal, you feel like you can do so many things. You're top of the world. And
Yes.
I would definitely stress that to anybody pursuing it, is that, don't be afraid to make mistakes and fail, because that's part of the process.
Oh, that's so good. Anderson, please let listeners know where they can go to tune into you, learn more about you and what you do.
Yes. You can, I'm on all the socials with Seal Media. That's SEAL Media. Just all one word for like Instagram, of course, Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. And then also you can take a look at our website and see all the things that we've been able to do. And that's sealmedia.us, not .com, .us. And just, stay in tune, because we have so many great things to announce. And, we're always continuing to explore new avenues, new ways. A great example is we got on the phone earlier this week, and we're adding a micro-influencer type of service that we're going to do a partnership with the business. And so if a company wants to kind of get in front of another audience, it's called OPA, other people's audiences, and advertise, get the word out for their products or services, this company that we're partnering with is going to be able to negotiate on your behalf to get in front of those micro-influencers and stuff. And I think it's a great idea, because we're always looking to provide value for our clients. And that's another great example of, pivoting and tinkering and making sure that what we're offering is aligned with our clients, always giving them, value.
I love it. Embrace the pivot. It's magic, because great things can come out of it when you're able to pivot and and roll with changes that are improvements and more value that you can bring to the table. And that is a great piece of advice for all of us, because sometimes the pivot looks scary. And if we have to change things, oh my God, how's that going to work? But when you embrace the pivot, as you've done, you are able to expand. And it doesn't stop you, it expands you. So good. Oh, thank you so much for being our guest in the Mind Growth Studio today.
Thank you for having me, Stephanie. This was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And
I had a great time with you. It's been so interesting and wonderful to learn about what you do and more about your own journey as an entrepreneur. And I really appreciate the little nuggets and tips that you shared with us to help us on our journey as we continue to travel this road. It's been a great pleasure to be with you today. I want to thank the listeners for spending this time with us. Go connect with Anderson. Find him on Insta. Connect with him on Facebook. Tune into his energy. You will be so glad you did. I am your host, Stephanie Kathan. You've been listening to the Mind Grow Radio Storyteller Series podcast. And until we meet again, keep shining in your brilliance. Great thanks to our guest today, Anderson Seal. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Wonderful, Stephanie. Thank you.